everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica, and author, Nikki Sloane.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you, especially Mandy.
Yes.
Which is kind of
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right, Mandy.
Okay, well, we'll just jump right in. So for people who are new to you, who maybe haven't heard me talk obsessively about the pool boy, what type of books do you write? Any particular tropes that you're into?
So I like all the genres in romance as long as they have really, really high heat. So I write dark romance, I've written sports romance, I write a lot of BDSM and taboo. So just like I said, as long as it's a hot book, like I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is there anywhere you would recommend somebody start if they were new to diving into your books?
Yes, so I usually recommend The Doctor, which is book one in the Nashville Neighborhood series. So that's a great. You sort of get a nice taste of the heat.
Yes.
Call
And
it a
then
nice
that neighborhood
taste.
just gets wilder
Yeah,
from
it
that
does.
point.
There's something in the water.
Yes.
There's something in the water, all right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said you wrote dark. Which of your books do you consider dark?
So I have the Sorted Duet. Book one is Sorted. It's actually banned on Amazon because it has a scene of dubious consent. Unfortunately, I can't remove that scene. It's pivotal to the book. I actually don't think it's not a sexy scene. It's just an important scene, but we assume that's what Amazon is objecting to, and that's why you can't get it. But you can get it anywhere else. You can get it off my website or whatever. So.
I got it this last. Well, I think I have 2 copies of it. I think someone sent me a copy, but I also have it on. It was at a blind date with a book box kind of situation, and it came, and I was like, I don't think I have it. But then when I was looking through my bookshelves, going, I might have a second copy of this, but it doesn't matter. I still need to read it. So being banned works for me. So that's all I got to hear. Dark and banned.
I wrote a
Amazon.
note.
I saw you writing that note. I think Amazon bans things for the oddest reasons.
Yes.
So some things can be like crazy and they won't ban the book at all. And then one little scene in a book that's not even what they interpret it to be, and they'll have it banned.
Yeah. So. And there's a way, there's some mistakes that I made. This was back when I was like kind of a baby author when I published it. So there were a few mistakes. Like it has a really racy cover, and then the blurb, like the book description, was pretty had some words in it that maybe put me on Amazon's radar. And so then they go through and they actually read the book. Most of the time they don't. They just send like a algorithm that goes through and just looks for certain words. And as long as it doesn't have those words, they're like, okay, this book is fine. So that's why you get some books that just sail right through and are probably way, way darker than Sorted. But because I made some mistakes, I got on their radar, and oh well.
I think that's what Pam Godwin was telling us too. Like those were like, she just knows they're gonna ping her books no matter what, just because of what's in them. So yeah, that's got to be a little frustrating from time to time.
Yeah.
I want the job where you get to read people's books and get paid for it, but I would just approve them all. I'd be like, this is great, approve.
You wouldn't be helping Amazon out. You'd be helping us out. But not Amazon.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be the whole point of the job.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Well, if I worked at Amazon, you'd be hired in a heartbeat.
We're just going to take over the Zon here.
There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Well, do you have a favorite book or a favorite character you've written?
Yes. So The Redemption is my favorite book. And it's because McAllister Hale, who's the hero of that's book 4 in my Filthy Rich American series.
Yeah.
I was very scared to write that book because I didn't think he deserved a redemption, but all my friends were like, oh no, you have to write his book. Like he deserves it. And so it's the one I'm the most proud of.
Okay. Yeah. Daddy McAllister needed his HEA. So yeah.
Well, I just finished the first book and I already knew kind of what was going to eventually happen because of that there's book 4. But I just, right now, he's kind of sleazy in my mind. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
The sleaze continues a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. But then you still find yourself going, but he needs it. He needs his
Right.
AGA.
Right. Halfway through book 2, you're sort of like, oh, I really hate him, but do I also kind of like him? Like, yeah.
Oh,
And then by book
yeah.
3, you're like, okay, I like him, but there's something wrong with me.
Yes.
but those
I
are
say
the
that all the
best
time.
heroes.
Yes. That's probably why I'm such a crazy dark romance reader, because I do that with the majority of my heroes. Like, there's something wrong with him. I shouldn't like him, but maybe there's something wrong with me because I do. Yeah. So
How did you become a romance writer?
So I actually started writing screenplays before I wrote, switched to novels. And my screenplays tended to always be, always at least had a romance subplot. Because I wrote a lot of action, actually, was what I was into. But I think the reason why I always gravitated towards romance was because growing up, my parents were very much like very supportive of me being a big reader. And they would tell me, like, any book you want, like, we're going to go into a bookstore, any book you want, we will buy you, unless it has a shirtless man on the cover.
Oh.
So the only way I could get romance was if I could find books that like were romance but had sort of discrete covers before discrete covers were really a thing. So that's why I read like a lot of VC Andrews, which doesn't look like it's, and I mean, I don't know if you call it a romance because it's pretty messed up, but so those were the only books I could like read, right? And so because if you tell me I can't have it, then of course I want it. So that's why I
that
think
was probably more in the days of like the Harlequin, like Fabio on the cover.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah. So it's ironic that my parents told me, you can have any book except for romance. Yeah. And then
And
that's
now
what I do.
here we are.
Yep.
Does your mom ever read your books?
Oh no.
Oh.
She's allowed to read like the book descriptions and then like the reviews.
Yeah.
But for our sanity, neither one of us wants her to read my books. So
Yes.
Yeah. My sister tried to read one of my books, but she said she hears my voice when she
Oh,
reads them.
ooh.
So she's like, nope. And I'm like,
No.
again, that's fine with me.
Yeah. That would be the hard part.
If they read the initiation and then everyone's sitting around the dining room table for Thanksgiving, that might be awkward.
Right. Yep.
Just a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, can you share what you're currently working on or any upcoming projects that you have going on?
Sure. I'm actually working on romantasy. I don't have a title for it yet, which is a new genre for me. I haven't written any fantasy before. I'm about a third of the way done with book 1. I think it'll be a trilogy. So that's what I'm working on.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole new genre there.
So this is a wild question, but
Okay.
how do you come up with your ideas?
So I have an R-rated answer. I hope that's all right.
That's fine.
Fine.
So I a lot of times, like, I'll be looking at back in the heyday of Tumblr when it would have like porn gifs and stuff like on it. I would be looking at it and I would be like, what is there, like, how did they get to this situation? Because you just see like a little snippet of it. So I was like, what brought these two people to this moment? And then I would start to develop like backstories and stuff like that. And a lot of times that's where my book ideas come from, is I see, sometimes those gifts, they're not necessarily pornographic. They're like sensual or just erotic, you know what I mean? And it's like the passion really comes through, and that's can be a catalyst for the whole story. My Nashville Neighborhood series is all actually based on like porn tropes. Like,
Makes sense.
the doctor is obviously, the doctor. And then, you've got like, girl next door. You've got, the frat boy is like all of them, because they, in the frat boy, they have like professor student and all sorts of stuff like that.
The pool boy's obviously the pool boy.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the best.
When you say Tumblr, it reminds me. Well, I was never a reader. Like that was never my thing. And then it was probably 2018-ish. I got onto Tumblr and started reading a lot of fan fiction. And that went on until about 2020. And I was like, I need something more than this. But Tumblr like fed that need for me for years. So when you're saying Tumblr, I kind of giggle a little. It's still on my phone. I just never use it anymore. So, but I can't like get rid of it because my favorite fan fictions are saved.
Okay.
There. So, just can't let it go. So, good old supernatural fan fiction. Yeah.
So, with your writing process, do you have an outline? Do you just sit down and start typing?
So it's changed over the years. When I first started writing, my process was like I would just have a very vague idea of like how it was going to end and who the character, and I would just sit down and start writing. But when I started writing Filthy Rich Americans, because I knew it was going to be a trilogy, it was the same couple across 3 books. I had to like map all of that out, and so it forced me to start being like. I would say I wrote like a really loose outline because I don't like doing like a full outline because then I feel like the story is written and I'm not as excited. I feel like I can't make changes if like I get a new idea in the middle of the story. Like I can't pivot because it's the outline's set in stone. And but now I've gotten a lot better. Like my process day-to-day writing, like I always know like what scene I want to be working on and like the general idea of what's going to happen in that scene. But my new thing that I've been doing is I have like a treadmill desk, and so I will dictate to Word, but I'll tell it in like third person. So I'll be like, she goes up the stairs and does this or blah 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 blah. So I don't feel like I'm actually putting like the physical words, because I'm very much the type of writer when I write a sentence, that's like I don't write like a lot of drafts. Usually my first draft is what gets published. I mean, other than after it's been edited, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have this weird thing of where it's like once I put it down, I do feel like it's set in stone. So now that I'm able to try this dictation where I'm writing in a different tense, I'm able to like get through that, and it's making the words come a lot faster, which is so great because I published The Broker last month, and it'd been 18 months since my last book, and so now it's like I'm finally able to get writing again, which is
back in the groove. Yeah. It's very
I
interesting.
hadn't realized it had been 18 months between The Broker.
Yeah, because The Good Girl was in August of 2023, and then Broker was February 2025, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Time flies. Because I hadn't realized it either. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just so excited when I saw that The Broker was coming, because you had kind of made a comment, I think somewhere along the line, I don't know if it purposely came from you, but it seemed that the Nashville Neighborhood was going to be done. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, there's another book coming in. So I was just so excited. I didn't even think about the fact that it had been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it'd been a while, but like 18 months, that's,
Yeah. Yeah, when I finished The Good Girl, I thought that was it. I thought the series was like done. And I would get people to come up to signings and see, oh, are you going to write any more Nashville Neighborhood? And I'd say, maybe I'll write another book for Clay, Travis, and Lilith, because I feel like there's more to their story. That's from The Architect. But I just never really had any, like, I kind of wanted a break and stuff like that. But then after, I took some time off from writing because I actually moved to Nashville. So I took some time off, and then all of a sudden I got the story idea, and I was like, oh, well, I guess we're going back to the Nashville Neighborhood.
I loved how you had Judy in there again.
Yeah. I had to. She's such a great villain.
She is. But the thing is I don't even think Judy realizes that she's the villain.
No, she's the hero of her story for sure.
when she tries to bake him cookies. Oh, that was the best.
Yeah. Well,
Poor
I had
Judy.
to bring that back because, she would make like cookies and lemonade for Dr. Lowe and the doctor because she
Mm-hmm.
was like had hots for him. And so I was like, oh man, we got to bring this back. Judy's got to
Mm-hmm.
be trying to work her magic on another guy.
Do you think Judy will ever get her own book?
No, no.
No redemption.
Small doses.
Yeah, that's true. She would be a lot for her own book.
Yeah.
And it would probably definitely go to her head.
Yeah.
I think we've all known a Judy before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Judy would be referred to as like a Karen if we were using, those terms.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do in your free time?
So, I like to craft, I guess. Like I like sewing, I like baking. I'm working on a project right now of where I'm recovering my dining room chair, like the cushions on my
Fabric
dining room
upholstery.
chairs.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'd forgotten how awful that is, of pulling all of the staples.
Yeah.
So I'm
I know.
halfway through the project and I'm like, why am I doing this?
My husband wants me to reupholster our couch, and this in our trailer we have a couch that folds into a bed or like pulls out into a bed, and then like the chairs for where we sit and eat at the table. He wants me to redo it, and I'm like, can't we just pay somebody? Because that is, that's a lot.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's like I enjoy it. I especially enjoy it when it's done. Like I love the feeling of accomplishment when it's done. But like now that I'm in it, I'm like, ugh.
Can I pay somebody to do it? Why did I choose that? I know I have to alter my daughter's they have their Tolo is tonight for their school dance, and I have to alter her dress when we get done with this. And I've put it off for a week now. Like I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You're kind of down to the wire though.
Yeah.
No, if she wasn't so like she's just tiny, like it's a 000 and I have to take it in.
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
good Lord, she wasn't so little, which is great. It's great for her that she's little, but I don't want it. She's like, I need it to like really come in at the waist. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. But I have to. So it just reminded me.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your own favorite authors or favorite books?
Oh yeah. Like I love anything Sierra Simone writes. I love Kennedy Ryan. Um, my favorite romance book, it's been a while since I've read it, but it's called Degradation by Stilo Fantôme. That's so good. It's one of those like where they hate each other, but then they like can't resist each other, and I just love it.
I like those.
Yes.
Yeah, BJ Alpha has one like that, her Veiled in Hate, where they hate each other. They're like forced to be married, but they hate each other.
Yeah.
It's good. I love that sort of thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like true enemies to lovers. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The enemies to lovers, like, they really need to be enemies.
Right.
Like, not just like, oh, I just don't care for you. You're kind of a jerk type thing. Like, I like that to be strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very strong.
So will we see you at any upcoming author signings?
So I only have 2 more this year, and they're both actually in Tennessee. I'm doing the Meet and Greet Cute in Knoxville, and that's in June, I believe. And then in September, I'm doing Tennessee LitCon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Man, not ones that we'll be at.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a Polycon. A Polycon in a few weeks. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We're not doing that one either. But that's okay. It's okay.
Have you done a Polycon before?
I have. Yeah. I didn't do it last year, but I did it the 2 years before that. So it's a good one. Yeah.
That's what we always hear, but we've never gone to that one.
Yeah.
I just think it's a DC, right?
It is.
Polycon's in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder to get tickets, and it's clear across the country for us. So
yeah,
not like that would stop us, but it's clear across the country for us. But
where are you? Are you guys in Phoenix or?
No, we're in Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Jessica's up by Canada, and I'm kind of in towards the coast, I guess.
Yeah.
I live in a town that has a blinking stoplight.
Mine only has stoplights because of the crossings to get into Canada. So, yeah, just the main roads. But yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, that is almost the end of our questions. Is there anything else you would like to share or that we didn't cover?
I don't think so. What are you guys reading right now?
Ooh.
I'm reading, I just finished this morning Red Rabbit by Devin Sinclair. It's really dark. It's really, really dark. It has all the triggers, like literally all the triggers. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So it's Devin something. I'm totally spacing it now. Devin Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just finished The Initiation because that's our
Right.
book club book. And I started Abyss by I always say her name wrong. Swathi MH. Goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
She told me it was okay if I said Swati.
But it is Swathi.
Yeah, but that's just there. It's hard to get that sound out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to think about it. And then that messes with my head.
I'm sorry.
What are you reading right now, Nikki?
I'm actually getting ready to start rereading Fourth Wing and then go through and then because I haven't read the newest one, Onyx Storm, yet. So want to reread because you know how it is. Like you read a book and then time passes and it's like you open your new book and it's like I need a previously on, right? Like I need a reminder of like what happened in the last book.
Yeah. I saw one, I can't remember which author did that, but there was one that I was getting ready to read this week. I pulled it up and it had that previously on. Oh, I think it was Miranda Grant. It gave you that like previously this is what happened. So here you don't have to reread because especially when you're looking at something like Fourth Wing or one of those bigger books like that, there's a lot that happens in those, a romantasy type book. Like yeah, I need a little recap.
Yeah. I mean, I've thought about it with the romantasy that I'm writing since I plan it to be a trilogy about maybe in book 2 at the beginning saying like, here's a little primer just in case.
Yeah. This is what you need to remember from last time. Because a lot of the times with the romantasy especially, it's a year in between books or more. I mean, think about the last time SJM put out a book in like the ACOTAR world, but yet we have to remember everything that happened before. Like it's really hard. Who else is really bad about that? Oh, Jennifer L. Armentrout with her. Like I don't want to read 5 books before I jump into the new one. So
I can hardly remember what I did yesterday.
Right?
So even if I read the book recently, like a highlight of these are the important things that you should remember before we start the new book would be helpful.
Yes. Like you don't have to recap everything. Just here's the bullet points. Don't forget that this happened.
Yes. Like really relevant things that you're going to need to like kind of remember would be very beneficial.
Because there'll be times when I pick up a sequel to a book or whatever, and normally it's just regular romance, right? But I'll be like, who was that person?
Right.
Were they important? Did I meet them in the book before? It sounds like I knew them, but I don't remember them. So yeah, that happens a lot.
Oh, and then sometimes I'll question myself and think, oh, wait, is this like a twist that the author has planned? Or did I just totally forget something?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can tell me that you are not ready, like you can't answer this question, like that's totally fine. I'm just curious if you have an idea of when your romantasy book might be out.
So I don't. I actually the thing I need to be working on right now is writing up the proposal because my agent is thinking about maybe shopping this around and seeing if any publishers are interested in publishing it. Rather, because I've never written fantasy before, I'm not super familiar with the space, so it may be beneficial for me to have somebody else publish it. But if there wasn't any interest, I'll still publish it myself. So I don't know how long that process is going to take because I'm exclusively indie published. I've never published anything with a publisher before, so I don't know I know if I were to sell it, that it would be a long time because it takes a long time for those books to come out. But if there is no interest, then hopefully in like a year, it should be book one would be ready to come out.
Okay. Well, something to look forward to from it then. Definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is the best way for readers to connect with you?
So probably on either Instagram, I have a website, it's nikkisloane.com, and that's Sloan with an E. Or else Facebook. I'm on Facebook too. So
do you have a Facebook reader group as well?
I do. It's called Nikki's Naughty Nymphs.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm in there.
We normally ask that because authors will say, Instagram or here, and they always forget that's where most people are active is in a reader group. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So perfect. All right. We cool, Mandy? Is that it?
That is it. Unless there's anything else you can think of.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, thanks out there for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you.